Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Premier League review show on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzy, and I'm your host for today's show. We have a lot to discuss. Things are certainly heating up, and it's only match week 5 in the Premier League. Man City grabbed an important draw against Arsenal. Liverpool got back on track with a win against Bournemouth. West Ham got hammered by Chelsea, and plenty more to discuss. So let's start with the game on Sunday, and that was Man City versus Arsenal. Now, this game certainly lived up to the bill. It had drama, chaos, everything, you name it. So let's talk about the key moments of the game. It didn't take long for City to break the deadlock. Great play by Savinho on the right wing. He cuts infield and provides the perfect through ball. Haaland is through on goal and finishes clinically to make it 1-0. Now, he made that look real easy, almost effortless. Credit to Savinho with the assist. His turn to get away from Calafiori was sublime. He looks a real talent, and for me, what a coup for City. Remember my prediction early in the season, guys. For me, he will be crowned as the young player of the season. At the moment, I can't see anyone rivaling him. That's how much of an impact he's had in such short period of time. Gundogan almost extends the lead for Man City after he hit a fantastic free kick over the wall. Unfortunately, he was denied by the post. But then Arsenal respond and equalize in the 22nd minute. What a goal from Ricardo Calafiori as he curls it into the top bins from the edge of the box. It's his first goal for Arsenal. It annoys me that my team Liverpool never signed this player. He would have been perfect for us. But back to the game. Arsenal had a glorious opportunity to take the lead, and Gabriel applies a header from a corner kick, but unfortunately hits it just over the bar. But that didn't stop him. As moments later, he has another pop at the cherry, and this time he gets the reward and gives Arsenal the 2-1 lead. Now let's talk about Kyle Walker's defending in this situation. The best right back in the league apparently to some people, but what on earth was he doing for that moment there? He was poking Gabriel like they were playing tag, and as soon as they hit the corner, he loses man, and Gabriel takes full advantage and scores a goal. Poor defending from the England right back. But where's the energy for the error? Because I know for a fact, if that was Trent Alexander-Arnold, you'll have a different energy, and you'll never hear the end of it. So clear agendas on the show that can't be denied, unfortunately. Arsenal, unfortunately, went down to 10 men as Trossard gets a sent off for kicking the ball away after the whistle was blown. Unfortunately, he was already on a yellow card. Was it the right decision? Unfortunately, it was. By the letter of the law, and as you all know, guys, you can't kick the ball away in that situation, especially when you've already been booked. You're giving the referee an excuse or an easy opportunity to make that sending off become really easy. Poor judgment from Trossard, who's experienced enough to know better. This happened just before halftime, so Arsenal had a huge mountain to climb. City had a few chances, particularly Gvardiol, who was denied twice by David Raya. Arsenal thought they did enough to deny City the point, but the knockout blow, like Dubois on Anthony Joshua, came out in the 98th minute as Kovacic has a shot from distance, saved by the keeper initially, but John Stones does fantastically well to find himself in the right position at the right time. Overall, City will be pleased that they managed to grab the late win in stoppage time. However, Arsenal feel like they've been robbed all 3 points, but this is their own wrongdoing as they should have been more focused until that final whistle. 2-point drops, in my opinion, and it could be costly in the long term. But earlier on today, we got some breaking news that Rodri could be out for the rest of the season. He suffered a knee ligament damage in this fixture. So that's a huge blow for Man City, but it could be good news for Arsenal and Liverpool in regards to the title challenge. Now, on to the next fixture. Liverpool versus Bournemouth. A reaction was certainly needed after an embarrassing result last week against Nottingham Forest, and that's exactly what we got on Saturday afternoon. But the game didn't start as planned as Semenyo opens the score sheet for Bournemouth in the first few minutes of the game, just like it did last year. But this time he was ruled offside, and that was the right decision from VAR. Liverpool respond and in the right way as Luis Diaz goes on an amazing run, hits a shot from outside the box, but Chelsea's on-loan keeper, Kepa, tips the ball over the bar. Diaz had another opportunity. This time, he was on the attacking edge of the 6-yard box, goes for the near post, but his shot was blocked by Kepa. In that moment, he should have squared it, as there were quite a few red shirts in the 6-yard box, so better decision making needed there from Lucho. But Liverpool managed to break the deadlock, and it was Luis Diaz on the score sheet. Konate with the long ball up top. For some reason, Kepa had a rush of blood and charges out of goal. Tried to make a clearance, but the ball dropped yards away from him. Diaz capitalized, controlled the ball, took it around the keeper, and slotted it into the corner. Smart finish from the Colombian winger. Liverpool then make it 2-0 as Trent Alexander-Arnold drives from the right channel, hits a through ball towards Diaz. He cuts infield and hits a fantastic left-footed shot to score his second and fifth goal of the season. And then the third goal. What a finish by Darwin Núñez with his left foot. But for me, it was the build-up play. The nodded pass from Núñez to Salah to start this counter-attack was just as good as the finish. Núñez was emotional after scoring his first goal of the season. First of many for the season ahead. He always makes the difficult goals look easy, but unfortunately makes easy goals or easy chances look difficult. But he's that type of player. In the second half, Liverpool controlled the game and took the pace of the game. Bournemouth tried to change the outlook of the game altogether by bringing on some attack-minded players in Ouattara and Sinistera, and they caused Liverpool defense some trouble. The closest that they got to scoring was Sinistera, who hits a lethal shot from the left side, but Kelleher was equal to it and stops the Bournemouth attacker from scoring, and also helped Liverpool keep a clean sheet. So overall, a fantastic performance from the Reds. A lot of fans are flip-flopping with regards to their judgment of Arne Slot. So the viewpoint will be different depending who you speak to, but not on this channel. I have belief in this manager, and I'm currently enjoying the new brand of football that Liverpool are playing. Away from the game, Trent Alexander-Arnold has come out and said some interesting comments with regards to his future at the club. Now I'm going to read out some quotes that came up from this interview. So his opening line was, "I want to be a Liverpool player this season as a minimum," is what I will say. I've always said I want to captain the club. That is a goal of mine. Whether that happens is out of my hands. I've been at the club for 20 years now. I have signed 4 or 5 contract extensions, and none of those have been played out in the public, and this won't be either. Now, that's some interesting points. But there were also some questions raised with regards to his relationship with the new coach. But he went on to say, in quotes, "It is really refreshing to have a manager who will help and guide and teach me how to be a better as a player. I am someone who wants to learn, someone who wants to be the best, and someone who strives to be the best ever." Now, the big statement for me that caught my attention, in quotes, "The most important thing is always trophies. If I'm being honest, I want to win trophies. I am a player who's highly motivated by trophies and winning the things and being elite." So the reason why that point was interesting for me is because it's being linked with a move to Real Madrid, who we all know have won an abundance of trophies over the years. So that move might be swaying his mind to leave Liverpool next year. Now, some fans have taken these quotes not very kindly, to be honest with you. And I'll be honest with you, I can understand it, as he seems very coy with regards to his long-term future at the club. But at the same time, you have to put some context into what he said. Firstly, our owners have shown extreme negligence for not giving Trent Alexander-Arnold a new contract, as well as other players, and they're leaving it until the final year to negotiate terms, which is ridiculous. But there are also a number of factors that will help Trent make his decision if he wants to stay at the club or not. He needs to feel like the club are showing ambition, which, let's be honest, under FSG we lack, and we haven't shown that in the transfer market. So that could sway his decision in terms of staying at the club. He also needs to feel like he's pivotal under the new coach Arne Slot's plans, and that he's next in line to become the Liverpool captain if Van Dijk was to ever depart. So for me, if he gets these assurances, which he should, is nothing too crazy to ask. You would hope that he stays at the club, but if he doesn't, then you could definitely see him walk out of the door next summer. Now, do you want my honest opinion about the whole thing and the future of Trent Alexander-Arnold? It hurts to say, but I think he ends up leaving Liverpool next summer. That's not me saying I want him to leave. It's just a gut feeling. And I would definitely be really annoyed if that was to happen. But at the same time, it wouldn't be a huge surprise due to the factors I mentioned earlier on. So I'm praying I'm completely wrong on this one, but it's just a feeling that I have. I feel like he's ready to move on and challenge himself at another club. With Real Madrid being his likely destination, obviously he's got his best mate, Jude Bellingham, there as well. So that will help him settle in very quickly. And even the points that he raised about Arne Slot helping him improve as a defender might be to help him become more accomplished and ready to be a Real Madrid player, where if he's defensively sound and goes there, then obviously he would be an amazing asset for them. So, look, not want to say out loud or what I want to put out there in the universe, but these things have to be said out loud. So, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that he will stay at Liverpool? And what have you made of his recent comments in this interview? So, yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Now, on to the next fixture, and that is Tottenham versus Brentford. Spurs definitely needed to respond in style, and they certainly did with a 3-1 victory over Brentford after losing to Arsenal in the North London derby. But the first goal that broke the deadlock came from Brentford, and wow, what an unbelievable strike from Mbeumo. Lewis Potter whips in a cross from the left side, and a technique from Mbeumo to wrap his foot around the ball and smash it with a volley was just spectacular. The crowd were shell-shocked, but only for a short period of time, as Spurs equalised minutes later, and it was their record signing, Dominic Solanke, who scores his first goal in a Tottenham shirt. Madison has the initial shot that was saved by Flecken, but like all good strikers, Solanke was ready to pounce and score from the rebound to make it 1-1. Spurs then made it 2-1, and what a strike it was from Brennan Johnson. Hit a fantastic shot from a tight angle. Brentford applied pressure on Spurs in the second half through Mbeumo, but there were shouts for a possible red card on Spurs keeper Vicario as he comes out of his area and clears the ball away with his hand. Really surprised that this wasn't reviewed by VAR. But the reason it might not have been reviewed is because they didn't deem it as a red card offence. Although I have seen goalkeepers getting sent off for those type of moments. Spurs then make it 3-1. Son driving the ball on the counter-attack. He threads the ball towards Madison, who then applies the dink to finish over the keeper to give Spurs all 3 points. Now, on to the next fixture. West Ham versus Chelsea. Not a great day in the office for West Ham as they get thrashed in their London derby against Chelsea. It didn't take the Blues very long to open the scoreline as Jackson attacks the left channel, gets in and hits a shot through Areola's legs. Great start for Chelsea, and it was done in the 3rd minute of the game. Chelsea then make it 2-0. Fantastic through ball from Caicedo, who steps up Jackson through on goal, and he clinically finishes with the outside of his foot. Lovely finish, to be fair. In the second half, Jackson becomes the provider as he threads the ball to Cole Palmer, who smashes the ball on target, posting in, and that wraps up the game at the London Stadium. Great win for Chelsea, but I have to raise this question. Is it too soon to judge the new West Ham manager? Honestly, it might be it's only match week 5, but the start of the season that they've had has certainly raised some eyebrows. As if you look at the squad on paper, they've got a lot of talent there. They made some really good signings in the summer. But the style of play just doesn't seem to be fitting the crop of players that they have. The manager seems to be playing a very defensive brand of football. And you're probably thinking, why they're conceding so many goals? It's because they're not playing their natural game and they're being exposed by the opposition. So for me, for West Ham, things will need to change, and it will need to change very soon. But before match week 6 begins this weekend, West Ham will be facing Liverpool on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup. So not the easiest of fixtures to change your season around. Now on to the next fixture. Aston Villa versus Wolves, which ended 3-1. The Villains continue their great start to the season as they beat Wolves at Villa Park. But it wasn't the best of starts as Diego Carlos gives the ball away. Cunha gets on the end of it and smashes the ball posting in to give Wolves the lead. Villa respond in the second half through a Ollie Watkins finish, who's found his goal scoring form once again. Villa then make it 2-1 with Kwanzaa applying a very neat finish to hit the back of the net. Made it very easy and looked like a striker's finish, so fair play to him. The man of the hour, John Duran, gets on the score sheet once again, scoring from close range to make it 3-1 to Villa and to secure all 3 points. Now, in other games, not much to discuss or to report as this was goalless at Selhurst Park, but we have to give credit to both goalkeepers in Onana and Nielsen, who are definitely the best players for both teams after producing some fantastic saves. Henderson probably took the Man of the Match award for the first half, and then Onana probably got it for the second. Palace have shown some strange form in recent weeks. Really surprised that they haven't continued their great form from last season under the new manager Oliver Glasner, but maybe they're still getting used to life without Michael Olise. And also Joachim Henderson, who left for Fulham, and I feel like he'll be a big loss for them with the experience that he presented for the players around him. We're interested to see how their season goes on from here. Now, in terms of the next fixture, we've got Fulham versus Newcastle. Fulham get their second win of the season, and it was not against an easy opposition in Newcastle, who were beaten for the first time this season. Raul Jimenez opens the scoreline in the 5th minute, scoring a fantastic volley. Fulham then make it 2-0 with a nice team goal. Great play from Smith Rowe, who drives with the ball, passes to Iwobi, who returns it back to Smith Rowe, and his finish just goes past the goal line as it was a toe point finish, but hey, they all count. But what a start for Smith Rowe. He looks like a completely different player at Fulham, and good for him. I think he thoroughly deserves a continued run of games, and he's able to showcase his talent a lot more to the world. Harvey Barnes grabs the goal for Newcastle with a neat finish into the bottom corner, but then Newcastle gift Fulham a goal as Bruno Guimaraes makes a wayward clearance, very unlike him to be fair, that only reaches Reece Nelson inside their own box. He controls it and smashes it into the back of the net to make it 3-1. Next fixture. This ended up being a bit of a fiery clash as the game ended 2-2 between Brighton and Nottingham Forest. To set it off, Forest were awarded the penalty after Baliba fouled Hudson-Odoi from behind. Chris Wood steps up and finishes clinically into the bottom corner to give Forest the lead. Hinshelwood equalizes for Brighton with a fantastic header in the top corner, but that wasn't even the best Brighton goal. Danny Welbeck steps up and scores from a free kick. Unbelievable finish from him. I don't actually know if this is officially correct, but I don't think I've ever seen him score a free kick. So what a moment for the veteran striker. And this was all before the halftime whistle. But in the end, it was Ramos Sosa who gets his first goal and an important one to level the score. And it also allows his team to walk away for a point from the IMEX Stadium. On to the next fixture. Leicester versus Everton. It was all square at the Walker Stadium in very wet conditions. Everton opened the scoreline through their summer signing, and he drives into the box from the left, cuts in and hits a fantastic shot, posting in to give the Toffees the lead. But Mavididi levels it in the 73rd minute. Scrappy goal from close range, but nonetheless, still a good point against a team that will also be fighting for survival this season. And the final fixture of match week 5, Southampton versus Ipswich Town. Another draw in this match week at the St. Mary's this time, with the result being 1-1. Adam Lallana setting up Dibbling with a fantastic through ball, and he applies a nice finish to give Southampton the lead. This occurred in the 5th minute of the game. So Southampton defended really well and probably thought that they were going to attain their first win of the season. But Ipswich Town captain Sam Morsey thought otherwise. In the 95th minute, Sam Morsey controls the ball from a corner on the edge of his box and smashes it into the top bins. That was a Roy of the Rovers type of moment. What a strike, and what a way to get an important point away from home. So that is the Match Week 5 review. So what we'll do now is present the FPL Manager of the Week. So interestingly, we've actually got two winners. So we've got, let me put it up on the screen. So we've got Melissa Morris. If it's going to work for me, there we go. Sorry. Melissa Morris, her team is the no one. She managed to get 89 points. So well done to Melissa Morris. And the second person to get the joint FPL Manager of the Week is Rohan Jolly, and it's the Jolly Jets. He managed to also attain 89 points. So well done to Melissa and Rohan for your points that you gathered in this week. Really good score. In terms of my performance, not the best of weeks in comparison to Melissa and Rohan. I got 63 points, and I've dropped from 47th to 51st in the league. So I certainly need to fix up fast. So what we'll do before we close the show, we will go through the top 10 and see what the current table is looking like right now. So due to Melissa's fantastic game week, her points tally has pushed her all the way to the top. So Melissa is currently number one with 89 points. So she's taking the lead. Muma Kabamba is number two. Rich Amponsa has moved up to third in the league. Gordon Kusi has dropped to fourth. Handi Abda has dropped to fifth. Ramshi Chinuri is up in sixth place. Emmanuel Babalola is placed in seventh. Emil Smith Rowe is moved up to eighth in the league. Leif Henna has moved up to ninth. And Gavin Manning has moved up to 10th position. So that's the top 10 of the table. I'm 51st, so you don't need to see me where I'm positioned. So yes, before we close the show, let's have a look at the run of fixtures in match week 6, and I'll give you a quick prediction of what I see happening this weekend. So big fixture here: Newcastle versus Man City. Huge blow. I mentioned earlier on that Rodri could be out for the rest of the season. So in terms of my score prediction, I'm going for a 2-0 victory for Man City. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals. I think Newcastle will definitely be a team that is set up quite well to avoid any attacks towards them. So basically saying they're going to play the low block. So I think it'll be a tightly contested game. So I think Man City will win. Do you know what? I think they'll win 3-0. I think there's too much firepower there. So 3-0 to City. Arsenal will respond in this fixture. I think they'll win 3-0 in this one as well. Brentford and West Ham, that's an interesting one. Brentford have been scoring some decent goals, but they haven't been attaining the points. West Ham just haven't hit the ground running. So I'm going to give this match a 1-1 draw. Chelsea versus Brighton, this will be an exciting fixture. I think Chelsea might just have the edge, so it's going to be 2-1 to Chelsea. Everton versus Palace. So two teams not in great form, to be fair. I'm going to give this a 1-1 draw. Forest versus Fulham. I'm going to give Fulham the edge. I think Fulham will win 2-1. Wolves play Liverpool. 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. I'm going to give an away win for Liverpool, of course. I think it'll be a 2-0 win. Into the Sunday fixtures, you've got Ipswich Town versus Aston Villa. I think Villa will win 3-1. Manchester United versus Spurs. I'm going to give the win to Spurs. I think they have definitely picked up some form recently. So I think it will be 2-1 to Tottenham. And then we've got Monday kickoff between Bournemouth and Southampton. I think this will end as 1-1. So let me go through the comments. Just got comments says from Sideline Football Show, said big up, brother. When we come, yep, I've pinned a link in the live chat. So if you want to come on, feel free to come on right now. It's a big up, everyone. Please like the stream and subscribe if you have not. Big up yourself. You ask me if I'm live. I am live and kicking. So yeah, if you want to come on, feel free to jump on right now. I do have a caller. So as you all know, guys, my Premier League weekly shows, they are calling shows as well. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the platform is yours. So you don't have to be a Liverpool fan. You could be a fan of any team. And you can come on and discuss anything that you want to discuss. So let me bring on the first caller. And then we can chop it out. So it is Jay Kismet. Jay Kismet, how you doing, bro? JK, are you there? Can't seem to hear JK. So I think he might be having some issues there. We'll give him a couple of minutes. There we go. I think his connection's back. JK,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
How's it going, bro? You good?
All good, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, feel free to, I know you're Liverpool fans, so you can talk about Liverpool, you can talk about the Premier League in general. The platform's yours. What would you like to talk about today?
First, I wanted to say, nice result on the weekend for us.
Definitely.
The whole weekend was actually worked out pretty well when you think about Arsenal and Man City just getting a point each.
Yeah.
So we're getting 2 on both of them. Rodri being out for the season. I'm not a big fan of saying, like, getting happy when opposition players get injured, but it is what it is. I mean,
yeah. I have to agree on that one.
Like, he's the most important player for that team, you know what I mean? So him like not being involved for a long time, it was a weird sort of challenge as well. It weren't really too much in it.
No.
It just sort of fell over, man. It was weird.
Mm.
So that's what just shows you, like, modern day football, how it is. Like, one little move like that can sort of destroy your season and probably your team's success in that season. So touch wood, like, we've been pretty lucky so far. Just Harvey Elliott, I think, is injured. Bar that, everyone else is fit. So, but for me, Liverpool getting a good result at home a week after the Forest game, very important. Gravenberch, excellent again. McAllister. For me, Szoboszlai, not so great, but that's a different story. But I think the defence, again, sort of solid. Kanate, for me, out the most of the defence he played, I gave him man of the match, Kanate. I just think that a little Kwanzaa sort of getting selected before him has really sort of shook him up. He's come back a stronger, more disciplined sort of centre back. That's all we wanted, really. And I think sometimes seeing a bit of competition does the world of good for some players. You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true. No, I couldn't agree more. I think, Konate definitely stood up for me in that Bournemouth game. Obviously, he provided the assist for the first goal, but it was just his general play. Even just in terms of his manner of tackling now, like he's more composed and he's not as aggressive. Sometimes he can be quite rash in his tackles, but I feel like he's definitely fixed that up in terms of his game. Gravenberch, for me, just continues to grow. I feel like it's becoming a bit boring. I keep naming him man of the match just because I feel like he's such an improved player, but it's not just because he's improving. He's literally been the catalyst of why Liverpool have been so good so far. We've only conceded 1 goal in the league, which is the lowest, obviously, and we scored 10 goals. I think City have the highest with 13, so we're showing great form right now. And I think that loss against Forest, yes, obviously it was an embarrassing one. It wasn't a one that we want to remember too much, but it does happen. You do just have those sort of bad days in the office where things just didn't go to plan and players didn't really turn up. But it's the response that really impressed me. We faced AC Milan. On paper, they've got quality players. They're not probably playing the best level of football because they've got a new coach as well. But end of the day, you're in San Siro. It's a hostile environment. You still have to step up and do your thing. And they certainly did that. And the form continued against Bournemouth, where I think for me, the only issues that I'm having with Liverpool right now is the start of games. But I feel like the opening 5-10 minutes, they seem quite slow and sluggish. So that needs to improve because I feel like teams will definitely want to be aggressive in the opening minute just to get at Liverpool. And I feel like that could be a sort of a gateway for teams to get the lead before we kind
Mhm.
of find momentum, if that makes sense. So just a little thing that I've noticed recently, because obviously Semenyo scored in this fixture. Obviously he was
Mhm.
offside, but it wasn't miles apart. It was a very close call. So that's areas of our game that I feel like we can improve. But generally, I'm pleased with the performance that Liverpool produced. How are you feeling about the Carabao Cup fixture we have? It's on Wednesday against West Ham.
I think it's a good opportunity to rest Van Dijk, McAllister, Salah, and say maybe Trent as well. I think them four guys, give
Yeah,
them a day off. You can bring Gomez in, Kwanzaa for Virgil, perfect replacement. Simicast for Robertson even, and then you got Conor Bradley
yeah,
right back.
yeah,
Maybe keep Kanate in there, just to keep his sort of form up. Him and Gravenberch for me,
yeah,
the two guys who are sort of in form because like Kanate since he come back in from the Ipswich game, guys been like top class. So I want to
yeah.
keep them two guys in, bring them in, and you could sum them off second half. I'll give Darwin a start as well in the game on Wednesday. Maybe Gakpo on the left and Chiesa on the right. Something like that.
Yeah, K's on the right sounds exciting. Yeah, but I don't think we'll be making too many hosting, but it'll be keeping players that need that momentum to keep going, and then
Hmm.
bringing players that need a bit more game time. So Gakpo had a fantastic performance against Milan, so I was quite surprised that he didn't get a start. But then again, Diaz has been insistent in form himself, so it was a
Yep.
difficult one, I'm sure, for the coach to do. But it's good. It's a good
Yeah.
headache for him to have, you know.
Like normally, like sometimes our left wing, left side sort of option is sort of lets us down. I would say, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But now for some reason, both of them guys are on full fire.
Yeah.
Gapco from the Euros, top scorer
Yes.
against Milan. One of my man of the matches, like for me, he was just like, whoa,
Yeah.
good to see. And when he came off a sub, he was
Yeah.
like proper boosted, And I like them type of guys in the squad. You need
Yeah.
them type of guys, no, like the moody guys who's like not getting
Yeah.
game time, stroppy, Kwanzaa was celebrating. I seen a video of Kwanzaa celebrating because like after the Ipswich game, when we scored in the second half, he didn't celebrate.
Okay.
Like he was pissed. He was seriously like,
Yeah.
oh, But I think it was the Milan game where he was celebrating. So it was good. Like he's got over that. It's all about the team. At the end of the day, us fans want to see like the best players. Don't get me wrong, but number one is the team winning.
Mm.
I don't really like stroppy players and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
So we got rid of two stroppy players like Cavalier. He was stroppy. We got rid of him. Doak also had his moments where I've seen his face. It's like, oh god. Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the fight in this guy? He's always been stroppy last season. He got injured, but we've loaned him out. So don't be stroppy, man, at Liverpool.
Do you know the Ben Doku? I'm laughing because I don't know what to make of because I've never heard him speak out loud. So I think it's just
Yeah.
the persona he has, but you might just assume that he's a grumpy person. So whereas Carvalho has come out and said not bad comments. I think Vandenberg has come up and said some not some nice things about Liverpool, but I think Carvalho has just shown a bit of immaturity with the comments that he's come out and said about Liverpool in the past. So, but look, you're correct. I think Liverpool, whenever we recruit players, we do our research in terms of their characteristics and all of that stuff as well. So it's part of their data analysis when they acquire a player. So because that is a key in terms of having that team morale where if you're not selected, it's not all about you, it's about the team. So you need to make sure
Hmm.
that even if you're on the bench, you are ready to make an impact because we need these players off the bench to have an impact as well going forward, especially with the games that are coming through right now. We've got games every 2-3 days now, so it's going to be
Yeah.
a lot for the players to deal with. And with regards to this Carabao Cup, so I've seen a few comments where some fans are like, do you know what? Let's not focus too much on it because it's just a competition that is regarded as low priority.
Hmm.
How would you go about this game? Would you say it's more like rotate the squad, obviously in context, or just play all the youngsters or whatnot, and then
Mhm.
if we get eliminated, it's no big deal because we are better off focusing on bigger competitions like the Premier League and the Champions League and also FA Cup whenever that happens. So, where's your stance on that sort of thing?
Like for me, last season would have been trophyless if we didn't win that cup.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean. We had a better season than Arsenal and United last season.
yeah,
So for me, every game, like I know it's a cliche saying, every game's important, but for me, every game is important. I don't like losing.
yeah,
West Ham lost 3-0 to Chelsea at home. Was it? Was it at home or
yeah,
away?
yeah. Chelsea. It was at home. It was at their stadium.
Well, there you go. So they're not in great form.
No.
Um, Also, it gives Slot an opportunity to sort of spread his wings a little bit,
Yeah.
try something different when because he's got his set 11. We know that. He's got his first 11. We know that. So for me, it's a game where he can sort of chop and change a little bit just to try something what he's doing in training.
Yeah.
Like Curtis Jones for me has to start. It was good
Agreed.
to see Curtis actually come on the pitch and find his feet straight away. Like normally when he comes on, Curtis, he can't
Mm.
find his feet, so you don't
Yeah.
really notice him. But against Bournemouth, he was on it. Like he got the ball. You just know, you know. So for
Yeah.
me, give him game time. I want to see him starting, and I think Darwin is as well.
Yeah.
Um, so these sort of things are an opportunity for Slot to do something different for himself and to develop his sort of managerial skills with us. You know, like he will know it's not a big cup, but
Mm.
he knows he wanted to win it. So I'll go. I would let him do what he wants that day. I ain't gonna really go over the top with look. He selected this guy, and this guy. Look, he's a Liverpool manager. He has to try things. He's had a set team all season.
Yeah.
This is a game for him to like do something different.
No, I literally co-sign for you said that. I'm not one of those fans where I devalue competition because it's not regarded as a priority in terms of the order of a list. Um, for me, it's all about firing for all competitions and trying to challenge for as many titles as possible. Like you said, if we didn't win the league title last year, then our season would have just looked quite bleak because obviously it was
Yep.
Klopp's last season. So we really have anything to kind of round up. And obviously, it's still one to add to the trophy list if that makes sense for Klopp. So
Hmm.
I definitely I share the same sentiment that you should go for all competitions, just because it's not had regard to some fans to from like look at Man City, they were winning League Cups on consecutive years.
Yep.
It just adds value to their legacy. Does that make sense? So it might not be the most prestigious competition, respectively, but it's still a cup end of the day. And I'd rather my team win trophies and just go through the season and just get top four. For
Yeah.
me, you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
get people winning top four. So I agree. I think it's very interesting sort of decision for Arne Slot because we're playing West Ham, so it's still a Premier League team, but obviously it's a team that's out of form. But it gives the chance for a lot of the players that have had minutes to just gain more minutes as well and just keep the momentum going. So the likes of Gakpo, Jones, the players that you mentioned, I think it's the perfect fixture to get them on and continue their run again because we've got a lot of fixtures coming up. So I'm looking forward to this one. I don't think a lot of fans are, but I am personally. Um, I don't really care what the competition is. For me, as long as Liverpool have set up the correct way, and I think if Arsenal utilize the squad a little bit more, so there's a lot of fringe players like the likes of Morton and Endo that haven't had any minutes whatsoever. I'm not
Mm.
expecting them to start, but at least come on in the second half just so they can sort of spread their legs a little bit because I know Endo just seems to have been phased out a bit now. So I'd like
Big
to
time.
see get some game time.
Hmm. Like I haven't seen Endo all season. It's just like weird. From last season, there was a part of the season where he was our best and important player.
Yeah,
He got injured, and he sort of fell down. You know, you got to keep your like. For me, when you're a manager, you got to give all your squad. Like Bournemouth on Saturday, we scored all 3 goals in the first half. He brought Curtis on. He left Yota on the bench, which I thought was good. Anyway, but for
yeah,
me, he could have gave a few more guys a bit of game time, I believe.
yeah. What do you make of Jota? Do you think he will start in this one, or will he be rested? Because the last couple of games not had the sort of best of impacts. I feel like he looked quite burnt out in the last fixture. To be fair, before
Yeah,
was yeah.
I think with Jota, I would. I wouldn't bring him back. I'd start Darwin again.
Yeah,
And the second half, if Darwin's already got a goal, bring him off.
yeah,
Bring Jota on. Let Jota just have a few, like half an hour, whatever it is. So them two are sort of getting ready for Saturday. Like for me, the league's most important thing, league and Champions League.
yeah.
But there's a way to use these sort of games to say give Darwin another start, bring Jota on to sort of get him back into the fold. You know.
Okay, no, fair enough. I couldn't argue with that. I think it'll be nice to see Darwin Núñez get another sort of run of games because I think after that it'll probably just be where it reverts back to Jota. So then it doesn't mean that he'll get consecutive games, but at least he's able to find a bit of momentum. And then even if he scores against West Ham, you have a striker that's in form and they'll be ready to make an impact off the bench as well. So for me, I feel like Liverpool have a great squad right now where all the players are kind of firing to some shape or form. And to be fair, long may it continue. But Jay Kismet, thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate your time as always. And I'm sure we'll chop it up very soon as well.
Peace, bro.
Cool. Take care, bro. Appreciate it. Time to bring another caller. And for Uncle Roz. Big up, Uncle Roz. How you doing, bro? You're on mute.
Hey, stop that. Listen, I'm sporting this thing, you know, the the way kit. Sporting that way kit. Yeah, the white one, heavy. Listen, it's bad, you know. It's bad.
Looks
you know
good.
what I mean? I'm gonna get a black one as well soon. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just waiting for this one to come. No, in fact, the next one I'm gonna get is a red one.
Yeah.
But I was just waiting for this to come through first. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's coming through today. Yeah, man, that's me. It's got like Luis Diaz on the back, you know.
You got Diaz,
you know what I mean? On the back. Yeah, for Baracas, you know, brother. He's from Baracas, you know. What do you say to me, Cards? You good?
All good, all good. What have you made of Liverpool? What have you made of the Premier League match week 5? Crazy results regarding Man City and Arsenal, right?
Yeah, crazy result, but you see what it is, and it's like, you know, what it seems to me with Arsenal, they seem to be on this thing that they want to defend, and obviously snatch a goal by a set piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you can do that with certain teams, like Tottenham and teams like that. But I think when it comes to Man City, where they have got firepower, and what they were doing, and it's just like they go at you until they get that goal. Do you know what I mean? But they, at the same time, they won't leave themselves open. So I did actually think in the day that sort of like I was actually surprised when Arsenal went ahead, you know, 2-1. But the way the game was going, there were certain times that Arsenal couldn't get out of their half. You understand me? So I did think at the day, like, you know, at least Man City would have been a point. I mean, that's good for us because we still stay second. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, so that is good for us. And obviously Arsenal, is it third or fourth?
Let me have a look. I think they're third.
Yeah.
I think they're third. Let's have a look. No, they're fourth. So Villa are third.
Yeah, Villa.
Points, and Arsenal have 11 points with Chelsea 10 points in place.
Because Villa been going on good, you know.
They have.
Villa been going on good, you know. Trust me, Villa has been going on good. Look at it, and they slapped up Young Boys the other day in the Champions League. They slapped them up, and they came back. And they came back against bloody who did they play on the weekend? They played Wolves, didn't they? On the weekend, they come back against 3-1. Do you know what I mean? That Duran, the Colombian guy, he's something, you know.
Do you know what? I didn't know what to make of him before because last season I thought he looked a bit iffy, but this season he's getting these clutch moments. I'm thinking, you know what? I might have to rate him a little bit, you know. Let's see how he does. Because last year I just thought he was just a bit of a random signing. But you're seeing Chelsea trying to sign him. I think it was linked to a move to West Ham that fell through. So maybe they see something in him. But yeah, he's getting these clutch moments. He's not starting many of the games, but he's coming on and making an impact, which is what you want from your striker. So he's doing his thing. Can't lie.
It's quality because you know what I think. You know what's if you look at the Colombians at the day that's playing in the Premiership, like Lamar that plays for Crystal Palace now,
He's good.
and you got Duran that plays for Aston Villa, and obviously we've got our own Luis Diaz. Do you know what I mean? What I've noticed since that Copa America, they've improved.
Yeah.
They've improved a lot. Do you know what I mean? They're actually putting away chances. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now Lerma and Lerma, and that's with Crystal Palace. Once was with Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? He's good. And even that one there, what's that one there named Sinistera?
Yeah.
Sinistera.
Yeah, he's
He's
good.
yeah, he's all right, you know. Don't sleep on him, you know.
No,
But
he's good.
I think what's happened since that Copa America, they've improved. They've improved vastly. Because even Luis Diaz, he's improved. Now he's starting to put away his chances now. Do you know what I mean? And he's scoring some good goals. Do you know what I mean? So listen, where we played over the weekend, I think we played good. Do you know what I mean? I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the day, and right at the beginning, I'm not Arnie Slott's biggest fan. I'm gonna say that right off. I'm not his biggest fan. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie and like change it. I'm not his biggest fan because personally, what it was for me, I've got nothing against the guy. Don't get me wrong, got nothing against him. Right, I just don't think he got the experience enough to lead Liverpool to where they need to go. I just didn't think he had experience. I wanted a more experienced manager like Amram, which is actually won abundance amounts of things. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? We're two different teams. You understand? That's what I wanted. You know what I mean? But hey, listen, I'm here to be proved wrong. I'm here to eat humble pie. If at the end of the season, yeah, he wins one or two things, or he has a good season, I will say, yeah, you know what? Then day right, I'll eat humble pie. You know what I mean? You understand? And and I'll say, look, I want to see what he does the following season. Do you know what I mean? But like the way he's playing at the moment, I've got no complaints with it. I've got no complaints because he's controlling the game. Do you know what I mean? And he seems like when they get ahead in a game, they like to stay ahead and they're not going to take any sort of like unnecessary risks and so forth. They're just going to control the game to their advantage. You know what I mean? And they seem to be doing that. Teams are always going to get chances against us. They're always going to get chances, no matter who they are. They're always going to get chances. So I don't really worry about that. What I worry about is actually, do they put them away? Do you know what I mean? You understand? And they had 19 shots against us on Saturday, Bournemouth. But
Did they?
most
Wow.
of the
That's a high number.
but it's a high number. But the thing is about it, right? Check this now, Oz. If you look at the stats, and somebody says it in there, sort of like, yeah, man, they've had 19 shots, yeah. They will let you thinking there's batterness to pillar to post. Yeah, right. But if you was actually watch the game and you look at it, and you see over half of them shots they had on target were off target.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's classed as a shot. Do you understand what I'm getting? It's classed as a shot on target. Whether it goes off target, it goes over the bar, around the bar, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's classed as a shot. So really, when you look at the stats now, you think to yourself, well, Bournemouth did better than what they, you know what I mean? What they did. You think, well, they must have been unlucky, but they wasn't. They just got outplayed. And most of the shots they had on target were off target. I mean, that Semenyo's goal that he scored was offside, same as what he did last season. Scored an offside goal from the same side, yeah? Yeah, it's no, it's from the other side actually, from the right hand side.
I think he scored, but that one I think it counted, isn't it? He scored the opening goal for that fixture, I think it was.
Did it count? Did it actually count?
Yeah, I think it did, because that's what I
yes,
remember.
it did. Yes, it did. You're right. It did because we beat them 3-1 in the end, didn't we? Yeah. Beat them 3-1. But like, you know, that was probably the only meaningful shot they had in the day, but being it was offside. Most of the other shots they had on target was off target, but counts as a shot. Now, saying that, I'm not saying that Bournemouth didn't play well. They did play well. Do you know what I mean? You know, they just, I think they're missing Solanke or missing a Solanke type player. Do you know what I mean? They used to have this Norwegian youth as well, you know, but I don't know where he's gone. Yeah. Okay. But like, they did play well. They did play well and everything that. And but I thought the way that sort of like Arnie saw set the team up and controlled the game, I thought was good. You know what I mean? Kelleher, great,
Very
goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper. I don't know why. Maybe you can tell me. I don't know why they went spent 30 million for a goalkeeper.
yeah.
I don't. I just don't. You know what pains me, Oz, yeah? Just that really pains me and irritates me. And I don't think a lot of people can understand, yeah? Not saying you, but a lot of people, other people can't understand. These ones that are pro FSG, right? Yeah? They could have took that 30 million in a day, right? And bought a midfielder.
You're right. No, it's not. You're
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
It
We didn't
wasn't
need
needed.
that. Oh.
No, it wasn't needed. And look, the goalkeeper that you're talking about is Mamadashvili. Yes, he's a good goalkeeper, but we already have a good number 2, unless it's been communicated that, you know, Kelleher has come out and said that he wants to be a number 1 elsewhere, and rightly so. I think he's such a quality keeper. I'm actually very surprised that no Premier League teams have gone out to sign him.
Yeah.
I think we've got some ridiculous offers though. I think someone tried to offer us like 10 million for him. I think it was
No, I
Forest.
think no, Forest offered us 7 million or some shit like that.
That's even worse. So
It's taking a
like,
piss. It's taking a piss, blood.
that's for one of his foot. That's not for the actual player. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
That's his boots, blood. That's his boots, blood. You want to get his boots for that. You don't get his boots for that, fam. You know what I mean? No, but you know what? The things about it, I can understand that sort of like Keller saying wants to, be number 1 somewhere else and this and that because he thinks he's good enough. And personally, I do think he's good enough. I do think he's good enough to go be a number 1 in another team. He's proved it time and time again that he's good enough. But then the fact is, at the day, right, Mamadashvili has already said he's not coming in. He's not coming to Liverpool to be a number 2.
Yeah.
He's coming to be a number 1. Why would he leave Valencia, where he's a number 1 at Valencia? Why would you leave there to go to another club to be number 2? It makes no sense.
No.
So then at the day, what you got to realize, what people got to realize, we didn't need him. So we've literally wasted 30 million in the transfers market, spending on players that we don't need, and this is a repeat trend of what we do.
Yeah.
When we start moaning about sort of like FSG, right? FSG and their sort of like transfer, sort of like what they're doing, transfers and so forth, right? People think we're just being spoiled. People just think we're being entitled, yeah. But look at the evidence in front of you. The evidence was in front of you this season, yeah, right? We spent 30 million on a player that we didn't need. We don't need, yeah.
No.
We then went and spent a further 10 million rather than 12 million on a player we don't need. Because our attack at the day is good. I'm not getting wrong in that day. I like Chiesa, and he's at the club. I don't mind it, but if you kind of look at it logically, we didn't even need Chiesa. So what we've actually done is the spots that we needed filling, we've neglected it again. Because not only did we need a DM, we need a left centre back as well. Yeah. So basically, what we've done, we've neglected it again, and then bought players at the day that we don't need.
No,
do you know what I mean? We don't need,
because I feel like we all know, and it's not like a hidden secret. We all know that the priority signings for the summer gone was a centre back and a midfielder. That was the priority signings. The goalkeeper one, yes, some fans will give the plus, be like, oh, we're future proofing our goalkeeping department by signing in Mamadashvili. But the thing is, we've got a good goalkeeper right now, so why not try and keep him on board for years to come rather than signing someone else, if that makes sense. But obviously, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, so we'll just assume that Keller said that I want to leave after this season. So, do you know what? That might not be the case. I actually feel like they went on and bought the keeper without actually telling Keller what happened, because the way he made those comments about his future, I don't think he knew about it personally. I think he got told after everything was done. So that's a bit shady on our owner's part.
It's shaky in it. Because you think about it, and right?
Yeah.
Not only have we got Kelleher as a good goalkeeper, we've also got a third good
Yeah.
goalkeeper, Jared, in the day, which is just as good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's very good. So really and truly, my argument is that in the goalkeeping department,
Yeah.
you didn't need to touch that.
No, it wasn't
You know what I
priority.
mean? And what you needed to touch was the midfield, which you didn't touch. Do you know what I mean?
No.
But like, oh look, listen, Ryan Gravenberch's come in and he's doing amazing. He's come in, he's doing amazing in midfield. I've got no sort of like no criticism, no arguments for him being in midfield. Like for the second week running when I've done my match reaction, he's
Yeah.
got man of the match. He's got man of the match for me. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when I do my play ratings like match reaction, I always have right two man of the matches. You know what I mean? Two man of the matches still. But he's always been my man of the match. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's doing amazing. But my problem is at the day, right, is like, yes, he's young. He can play probably more games than the rest can play. But my problem is at the day is what do you do, right, when he gets injured? What do you do? Yeah? Because we know at the day, you see Thomas Partey, we know at the day he's shady. He intentionally goes out to injure players. Yeah, he
Yeah.
done it to Luis Diaz, and he's just done it to Rodri yesterday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really and truly, at the day, it's like say you got Ryan Gravenberch in midfield. Yeah, making a mug out of him. Yeah, who's to say at the day that Thomas Partey don't go and intentionally injure him? And
Yeah.
we're shagged, didn't we? We are literally shagged because we've got no backup. Because you sent Bryce Etchicks to Salzburg on loan. You
Yeah.
don't want to play. You don't want to play
Endo.
Endo. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you drop sort of like Sabozlai back into midfield and say, like, right, you're playing the six now?
Yeah.
It
No.
doesn't matter. But like, listen, the way that we're playing and the results that we're getting, I can't really complain. Apart from obviously that blip the other day, we're not in the Forest, but we bounced back against Ace Milan and we bounced back against Bournemouth, which I thought Bournemouth might give us more trouble than than they did. Do you know what I mean? But
Mm.
like, we just got to carry. We just got to be consistent. We got Wolves this week and this weekend in late kickoff. We just got to be consistent. But it was a great match. It was a great match. It's like both goals
Yeah.
by Luis Diaz were good. Darwin Nunes one. Ooh.
That came out of the blue. I was screaming for him to square the ball, and I'm thinking, why is he shooting? And then boom, posting in. I'm like, okay, got to shut up now. Got to let him just have his moment now. I can't really
Talk it. Ali Sott said in the press conference, he goes like, when Darwin had the ball, he was screaming for him to take another touch, yeah. But he didn't take another touch. He just curled it in the back of the net, right? And he goes, "That's why probably he's a better footballer than what I was." You know what I mean? But like, do you know what I mean? It's just, I think, obviously, when it comes to Darwin Nunes, I just think he needs to calm down in front of goal.
Yeah.
Don't rush it. You know what I mean? Just take your time, pick it, pick your angle and shoot, or pick your spot, shoot. Do you know what I mean? Take your time, man. I think a lot of his stuff and what he does when he's in front of goal, a lot of it's rushed. It's like really like rushed, and I think that's probably the sort of player he is. He fast, get it done. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes in certain leagues, you just have to sort of like calm down a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Be
And
more calm
pick your
and be
spot.
more composed in front of goal.
Yeah,
That is the thing, because that's the criticism I have of Darwin Nunes, and I'll be honest, I feel like since he's been at Liverpool, he hasn't improved that area of his game at all. I think he's been the same finisher since he walked in the first day. So
yeah,
he's such a strange player where he scores all these phenomenal goals that you don't expect someone to score in those kind of tight positions or angles. But the simple ones, he makes it look like it's really difficult when it's complete tapping. So there
yeah,
needs to be
yeah,
consistency in his play, because once he manages to find that composure in front of goal where it's a tap in or one-on-one situation, that will breed him confidence going forward as well. So that is what is sort of like the missing ingredient in his game, where he doesn't have composure. He doesn't have that calmness in front of goal. All the best strikers that we've seen at Liverpool, for example, over the years, they've been killers in front of goal because they have that calmness. They're very measured in terms of how they're shooting. Like you look at the likes of like Mike Lauren, the Fowlers, all those players from back in the day. Fowler was instinctive when he finished. So the strikers that we have, they're not instinctive. They're players that work hard for the team. They're finding good positions, but sometimes they pick the wrong selection of shots, if you know what I'm saying. So it's like I personally think Darwin Núñez has a lot of work to do this year in order to have a long-term future at the club. But at the same time, it's not me throwing shade at him. It's just what I've seen for the last 2-3 years. I haven't seen much improvement. But I'm like you. You know, you have your doubts with Arne Slot. I have my doubts with Darwin Núñez. So if they prove me wrong or they prove you wrong, I'm thinking we're, you know, both comfortable human beings to, you know, put our hands up and be like, you know what?
I got it wrong. Yeah, I got it wrong because
there's no shame in saying that, you know.
Would you start Núñez against West Ham on Wednesday?
I would continue his form going to his fixtures. I think Jota looks really tired. I feel like he looks really like he needs a bit of a rest. Because of his injury record, where he's not used to playing that many consecutive games. So there's no shade in terms of his ability as a player. I just feel like he needs a bit of a break because now we're kind of hitting that run of games where we're playing we're playing games every 2-3 days. So we need to be a bit more calculated. And Arne Slot doesn't seem like a manager that will rotate a lot. I think he might make 2 or 3 changes. So you have to be a bit more smart with your sort of selection. I think Darwin Núñez would have started this game regardless, in my opinion. But because he scored over the weekend, is as more emphasis that he should start, in my opinion. So I'll probably bring on Gakpo as well. And I think Jones should get a run out.
I would. I mean, also we're jumping ahead of ourselves, you know what I mean? Because we both got our preview shows coming up. But at the same time, do you know what I mean? My front three would be Diaz.
Okay.
No. In fact, Gakpo, Núñez, and Chiesa.
Yeah.
That's my front three.
A shout from a lot of us fans because Jake Kisman, shout out to him. He mentioned the same lineup earlier on as well. So
yeah,
I'd want to see Chiesa as well. The only thing I will disagree with you is the signing of Chiesa. I think it was needed, you know, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if you've noticed with Mo Salah, his shooting, it looks like he's tired. Like he doesn't have any power in his shots. And I feel like that's because he plays a lot of games and he has been over the last few years. We don't really have anyone in our squad that we can rotate with him. He's always been the starter for us. So I feel like a right-sided player was always needed, but it wasn't priority. That I'll definitely
because I think what is it? And they dug they dug the hole for themselves on that situation with Salah. Because they always did start him. They always gave him his wish of starting him, and they never said to him at one time, "Well, look, and then you're gonna have to sit a couple of games out." Do you know what I mean? Never did that. So like, then he gets to sort of like a situation where he feels privileged. You know what I mean? He's like a privilege. You know what I mean? And like, and you can't tell him at the day, "Well, you're not starting." Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think he's selfish. Sometimes he could be selfish. Sometimes, do you know what I mean? When there's a pass. Because over the weekend, there was a pass was on for Chiesa, and Chiesa would have had a tap in. Trust me, would have had a tap in. Yeah. Salah chose to take the shot. In the Man United,
he was so off it.
But look at.
I just think he just didn't. I don't know what it was. The last 2 games, he's been so off his passing. Like his final pass has been really bad.
He needs to be dropped. He needs to be dropped because look at this now, right? Do you remember last season when we played Man United at Anfield? Yeah. Do you remember when you had the ball, right? And this is what I'm talking about. Right? This is what I'm talking about. I nearly mash up my computer, you know, right? Because he was in a position, he was central, right? Tsimikas was to the left of him. Tsimikas had an open goal, literally had a tap in. He could not have missed it. It was it was more harder, to miss it. Do you know what I mean? It's so impossible, right? He had that chance, yeah. Well, it wasn't, and right? Salah chose to take the shot, and he flushed a shot and everything, and he just like obviously Onana grabbed it up, and that was the last chance we had. Do you know what I mean? You know, he does the sort of things, and he doesn't realize that how annoying it is when he does it. Stop doing that, man. Just stop doing that. If the pass is on, pass. Do you know what I mean? If the pass not on and you take a shot, yeah, and like you miss it or whatever, people ain't gonna say nothing because they're gonna say, well, look, the pass was on. He had to shoot. Do you know what I mean? And take his chance. But you're doing such things at the day that you shouldn't be doing, and you should know better. Being the fact that you've been with Liverpool so long, it's just a bit selfish. So I would say yes, and with the right side of attack, yes, at the day is probably needed, but not a priority, as you say.
Definitely
not a priority. Not a priority. But I'm starting with Chiesa on the right, Darwin Núñez through the middle, and Gakpo on the left. Listen, that to me, that says goals, blood.
Yeah. That's probably better than most lineups in the whole league. I'm not even trying to throw shade.
Yeah,
that's our second front line, and it's probably better than most front lines.
Yeah, just imagine Gakpo and Chiesa and Núñez running at you.
Listen, that's not a bad front line, you know.
Listen, brother, and the midfield at the day, right? You know what I mean? You can rest certain mans at the day. You can rest certain mans. Even in defense, you can rest certain mans. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But you have to. I think Arne Slot at the day has to be shrewd. With his squad, because he sees something. This is what I'm afraid of. Yeah, this is what I'm afraid of. Now I'm jumping ahead now to the end of the season. Yeah. Yes, say for argument's sake that Arne Slot has a good season, and we're eating humble pie. Yeah. What are the chances at the day that he gets backed in summer?
Slim.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Oh, so look at our track record.
Exactly. So no matter what he does, this is why I'm probably prepared to give Arne Slot a chance, because no matter what he does, and if you look at it, he's screwed.
Yeah,
he's screwed, because if he has a bad season today, right? Yeah, they're probably looking to get rid of him. If he has a good season today, right? Yeah, he's not gonna get no backing.
No,
and he'll probably leave himself. People will think, well, what am I doing here? What am I doing there? I can go somewhere else and they went some other club and where they've got bare money and everything that run.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think like when you bring in a new manager, you have to back him straight. Look at West Ham as an example, because we're facing them. They back their new manager. Like they might not be Liverpool level, for example, but they're still solid players that we all know.
Yeah,
watching football in Europe. So that's how you back your new man, not trying to go into the sale market and then look. I think Chiesa is a phenomenal player. I've always wanted him at Liverpool. I didn't think it was a realistic target, to be honest with you. But his contractual situation was that he had 1 year left. Made his sort of opinion clear that he wanted to leave the club for a new challenge. So that's why we got him for a cheaper rate. But generally, you don't find those players for that price. So it was just annoying this summer where we didn't get. I really wanted was Calafiori, and look what he did over the weekend. Scoring for
do you know what it is? I did and I didn't.
Okay.
I did and I didn't, because yes, he's a good defender, but see what it is with some of these Italian defenders, and is like what you got to think about. The game goes a bit too fast for them sometimes, and they're getting knackered. That's what he did. He didn't even do a full thing, kind of like.
I think that was his first game of the season. I think
his first game, he did. Yeah, he didn't even do a full one. He's come on and did some camera roles, but that's his first start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing is about it, I think that, okay, if we never got Inacio, but we got, if we never got Calafiori but got Inacio, I'd have been fine. Do you know what I mean? I'd have been fine with that. It's just the fact that we didn't buy anybody for that position.
Yeah,
that's what gets me. So it makes the fact that Arsenal went and got Calafiori, it makes it kind of like hurt. You know what I mean? Because we never brought in anybody, for that position. Do you know what I mean? You could say, all right, then you know what, Chelsea got Neto, didn't they? They got Neto, but then we got Calafuri. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is about our attack in the day. I think our attack in the day is sound. I think it's sound. I don't think you need to touch it really. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's a fact at the day that we never filled in any other position. That's what gets me. And then you got Calafuri that goes to sort of like to Arsenal. Then you got sort of like what's the other one's name? That one that Man United got from PSG. The midfielder, Uruguayan midfielder.
Oh, Ugarte.
Yeah, Ugarte. That's another player that should be at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It should be Liverpool. The fact that today that sort of like these teams went and got these players, yeah, and then even now we're still talking about Zubimendi. We're still talking about the fact that Zubimendi regrets his decision at the day at sort of like Sociedad. Liverpool looking to go in for Zubimendi sort of like in January. That's all cap.
Is that the latest talk in town that we're going to go for him?
Yeah, that's the latest. Yeah, that is the latest. That he's he's regretted he regrets his decision of staying in Sociedad, and like Liverpool are looking to go back in for him in January. Do you know what I mean? It's cap. That's not happening. It's not happening.
What do you make of that? I'll be honest with you. I'm petty. I'm not going in for him again. He rejected us the first time. Why are we going for the same player again?
The thing is about it, yeah, you're right. The thing is about it. But like to me at the end of the day, it's not happening because you had your chance. Yeah. Before, you know what I mean? Because you got to think what we got to think about. We can't lay all the blame on Zubimendi. It was mostly Liverpool's fault.
Yeah.
Because what it is at the day is that he's done something at the day, right, that he hasn't done to any with any other club. He said yes to us. He said no to Arsenal. He said no to Man United and no to other couple of teams, right? But he said yes to Liverpool. Yeah. All Liverpool had to do then was pay the release cost, and he would have been with us now. Yeah. But what it was with Liverpool, they're dilly-dallying with the release cost because they're trying to get it cheaper, right? And they gave the club that he's with time to get in his ear and say, look, you know what? These mans ain't serious, man. He wants to just stay here. You know what I mean?
He hasn't been given a new contract. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah.
He was promised a new contract. He didn't get it.
Well, that's the thing. He ain't got it, but they must have said they must have promised a new contract.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but they ain't given to him yet. But then one of the talks was that he wants to stay here. We'll give you another contract. Blah blah. And he said, well, look, yeah, these mans over there across the sea don't look really sort of like serious. Because if they were serious, I'll be flying to Liverpool now for medical. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'll stay here, man. I'm staying here. And that's what it is. It says stay here. It's like, all right, you got a job, big man. Yeah, you got a job, right? And you got your family and you use them. Yeah, you look after your wife, you use them and everything. There, you're doing what you're supposed to do as a husband and as a father. Yeah, you're doing your thing, and you got a nice job there, right? Next man comes to you and said, "Here, what a big man, I got this job and everything that I want to offer you, right? And it's more money, it's this amount of money and everything that." And you think, what, brother? We can go on 2 holidays a year. You know what I mean? Me and the wife and the kids and all that. You know, because man, I'm on it. Yeah. But they're dilly-dallying with a start date. They're dilly-dallying with a start date. Yeah. So you're not gonna give in your resignation until you know, and then you got a start date. Yeah. And then sort of like dilly-dallying, you're gonna say, well, look, so I'm just staying here, man. What's wrong with I'm staying here? This is regular money. I'm doing well. I'm just gonna stay here. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's what it is. It's kind of like you can't mess people about like that. Do you know what I mean? And that was, to me, was Bellingham all over again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Where they promised Klopp in the day that yes, we're gonna you can get this player. They told Klopp in the day to go and sort it out. You know what I mean? You know, go and pattern it up. He even got Trent to come in as well and pattern it up in there, right? And then when they come down to it, and they we're not going to do it now. They made Klopp look like an idiot. Because if you notice after that, Klopp changed. You know, Klopp changed after that. Do you know what I mean? So that's just the way it goes with these people, man. But I can't blame Zubimendi, but like, you know, if the rumors are right, and that sort of like he gets a decision and he wants to come to Liverpool, I think so. That's too late, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
too late.
like for me, because obviously in terms of what happened with the deal, I feel like there's always two sides. Because I feel like from the player's point of view, he's always been a player that's said it publicly that he loves where he's like he loves his club. That's where he's from. That's his hometown. So he doesn't really want to move. He's rejected Barcelona, and he's rejected Bayern and rejected Arsenal. So it's not just about staying in Spain because he obviously rejected Barcelona. It was more so he wants to stay where he is and he wants to play for his hometown club, which I have no qualms with. That's all good and well. But for me, the disappointment from Liverpool's point of view, where you got to do your research about your targets. Like if he's shown, resistance of not leaving where he lives, then you can't really target him. What's going to make him sway? Is it the money? Because it might sway him to an extent, but at the same time, he was offered terms, because apparently the rumor was that he agreed terms. But he probably just took a step back and thought, you know what? It's not for me. There's rumors that his missus said that she didn't want to leave as well. So it's a bigger picture than just him saying, "Oh, I want to come." But for me,
but
it's like Liverpool messed up the deal as well. They messed up the deal.
Messed up the deal. But you know, it isn't the day. So I've been in long-term relationships and sort of so forth and that, right? Listen, right? I'm trying to sound chauvinistic, yeah. If you're the man of the house, you're providing it, and you go where the work is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like, no, you go where the work is. So if she's telling me, "Go, yo, man, I want to leave. I don't want to leave Spain and anything," I goes, "All right, you stay there then. You stay where you are."
It happens as well. A lot of players that leave countries and the family don't want to leave, they stay where they are. But the player needs to do his thing in order to provide for his family. So
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Not to sound funny as well, if you marry a footballer, you will know in some shape or form you will have to move at some point.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
Get that one player club guy now. Like we don't get Jamie Carragher's and Gary Neville's anymore. It's very unlikely in the modern day that you get one person at one club throughout their whole career. It's very, very unlikely. So
it's true because is what isn't they right with them scenarios in football, anything can happen at that club. All right. Well, for instance, what if that club at the end of the day doesn't want you anymore? Yeah. A new manager comes in. Yeah, this does happen. A new manager comes in and you don't figure in that manager's plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't figure in that plan. So then at the day, sort of like an offer comes from overseas to come and play football overseas and that, right? You know what I mean? The man's going to want to go. So if you're marrying a football, it's not all about sort of like, well, I want to stay here. Yeah. Well, you knew what he was about before you married him.
Yeah.
This is why you married him, because he's a footballer and is a footballer. No, it's true though, isn't it? You knew what. It's not as if at the day sort of like, well, they got married, right? And he started playing football after. No, he was a footballer before he got married. Yeah. That was probably the attraction. Yeah, that's probably the attraction of one of the attractions. I'm not saying the be on end all, but probably one of the attractions at the day of you marrying this guy because he's a footballer. Because footballers at the day are celebrities now these days. You understand me?
Facts.
So then you got that, and I think that then you're telling man's at the day, well, you don't want to leave Spain. Come on now, man. What we doing here?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So really and truly, I'll say, look, you know what, Linda, I'm not being fun. No disrespect to you, love. I love you. You're my wife and that. But you go where I tell you. You go where I tell you.
I don't know if Ruben's that guy.
I know. He's not that guy. I know he's not the guy, but I'm just speaking for myself.
The record shows, right? That's not.
I know it.
He's not that guy.
Under the thumb and shit, man.
He's not that guy. So he's just like, you know what? I'll do what the missus said. But that's my concern because it's like, he rejected us the first time. If we go again, and like you said, the rumor is that he's regretted his decision. But what if he comes there and he's like, do you know what? It's flipping rains every day. This ain't Spain. Like he might get homesick, so he might just want to go back anyway. So why take a gamble on a player that, look, he might love the project. He might appreciate the club being a top club and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, there's a human side to the game as well, where if there's some players that have come to the Premier League and they haven't done well because they just haven't settled. They just don't like the environment that they live in, which is fair. And they've moved over to Spain and they've made a career out of themselves playing at Spain or Italy or whatnot. So for me, I think it would be I don't know. As a player, he's a great player. But I'm looking at the other stuff around it. Like, if he comes to Liverpool, is he going to be 100% committed? Is it going to be where, do you know what? This ain't for me. I just want to go back to sunny Spain, go back to where I was from before, around the mountains and all that jazz, and then go back to where I'm from. Because you can't rule that out. And there's a history of players that have come through, and then like Italian players, they're known to have that where they come here, they're like, oh, it's not for me. I'm going back to Milan. I'm going back to where I'm from. So
they get used to the custom of home, and they don't really want. Well, put it this way, they're not willing to change. I remember this. I remember this player that come to sort of like Man City back in the day when I first got this money from that the guy from Thailand, and was it, I think Sven Goran Eriksson bought him in. There was a player called Ronaldo Bianchi, and he bought him in. He paid about a few months. He paid a few months at the day for Man City, and he said, "Nah, I want to go back to Italy. I want to go back to Italy." And he went back to Italy. Do you know what I mean? You know, all those mans like Alano, and all them man, they just went back to Italy. But you see what it is at the day with me at the day. I rather just say, I rather Liverpool take that money and go and buy Varela from Porto.
That's the guy I wanted, That's the guy I wanted, man.
Brother, imagine this, yeah. Imagine them two youths there, like McAllister and Varela, sitting in midfield.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god.
And you got Gravenberch going further forward, knowing that in the day, right, he's got these two staunch man, right, holding the fort. He could do anything he wants, you know.
You could play Varela and Gravenberch, and then McAllister as a 10. That will work as well.
Oh, stop it. Listen, I'll come off this stream with that. Listen, I'll come off this stream with that. I will come off this stream with it. Stop that. That's just too much sauce. Brother, Varela and Gravenberch.
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
And that and you know, well, because if one guy gets injured, the other guy can just go back to that position as well.
Stop it.
You know what I mean? This is what annoys me about FSG. I'm not gonna lie. It annoys me.
Listen, and you know Varela, yeah? You know Varela. You know he likes a challenge, you know that, innit?
Listen,
he's not afraid of a challenge, you know.
Mascherano, so you know he's about it.
Oh, Mascherano, stop it. Man said Mascherano, you know.
So imagine him being likened to Mascherano, and then you've got McAllister, who's just like got a wonder of a foot, and then his passing is just the balance.
Did you see that pass he did there? Did you see that pass he did there for Salah?
Yes.
He split the defense open, you know.
And that one in the previous game for Jota, he missed that. It was like a 2-yard shot, but yeah.
It was literally like a hot knife through butter, you know.
It was sublime. It was really good.
Oh my gosh. Even the commentator said, wow. He said, wow. He goes, wow, that was a pass. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I'm trying to say. He just
club just lacks ambition. There are players out there. It's just annoying. They don't have the ambition to go for someone. You know, we could sign Varela for 8 million last year.
Exactly.
But we didn't want.
And now they want 8. And now they want 80 million.
80. Times it by 10. That's how it happens. They always times it by 10. They literally said to. This is why people thought, right? Because I got sucked into it as well. This is why people thought that sort of like the plane was going over to Porto. Yeah. Because what it was apparently a day or so before, apparently Porto offered Varela to Liverpool for 80 million euros. They offered him, said, look, if you want him, come and get him. He's there for 80 million euros. But like what it was with the transfer people, you know what I mean? Because I know people are gonna try and get on at us saying that we're blaming FSG too much. So we won't say FSG, we'll say the transfer people. Yeah. Transfer people didn't want to do it. But then somebody spin like a rumor that the next day somebody spent a rumor that sort of like the plane was left Liverpool. Was spotted going towards Porto.
Do you know what I mean? Going towards Porter. And then everybody started. I got gassed as well. I got gassed as well. Then they
Do you
come
know what
out
the
and
crazy
said,
thing for me was? I don't know if it's popular, it's common knowledge. I thought he had a release clause, so I thought he would have just been easy to get a deal done. But I don't know if that's true. But because I think we were linked to him months ago, and apparently the release clause in terms of pounds was like 55 to 60. So I don't know if that's in euros. That might be like 70 million euros. So it might be
something like that. Yeah.
So it might just be that, you know what, this is how much we value him. You can come and get him. So
he would have been worth it, because you got to think.
You would.
You got to think about that. We
He's
bought
young
sort
as
of
well,
like
22 years old.
yeah. He's only young. We bought we paid 60 million euros for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
So like,
that's the going rate now. Aston Villa bought Onana for 50 million.
Yeah, exactly. And he ain't nothing special, is he? Really?
It's just a normal rate now. It's not. That's not high pricing. The way I look at transfers now, whatever the transfer fee is, basically just half the value. That is the player's value.
Yeah.
From what it was from back in the day, just half the value, because that is a 25 million player in Onana for me.
Yeah. No facts.
And then for Varela, you'd pay about 40 million, right? That would be his honest value, not this whole, inflated value that we're getting in this market nowadays. So
I met his missus. I met Anana's missus, spoke to her.
Is it?
Yeah, she's nice,
Yeah.
She's nice. There's one Browning still, You stay there. No, because what it is, well, obviously because of the stewarding and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
And Luton was in the Premiership last season, and what it was, Everton came to play Luton on a Friday night. It was a Friday night. And then after the game finishing and from that, right, somebody said to me, because that's Anana's missus, because she was just sort of like waiting around, and we had to sort of like clear the stadium. So I must have went over to her, said like, "Are you one of the players' missus and that?" And she goes, "Yeah." I goes, like, "Which one?" She goes, "Oh, Onana." I go, "See, them lucky, you see." And I went like that to her, and she started killing it. I guess, see. You know what I mean? It was funny, but she had two kids with them and that. But she's pretty though. She's like mixed race, and she's pretty, really pretty. And she's like, to be fair, she's actually nice to speak to. She's not like, above herself. You know what I mean? Head up her arse and all. She's not like that. She's like proper, like, mannerful of manners, and speaks you good. You know what I mean? You can on the vibe with her still. You know what I mean? You understand? And that's probably the most important thing. Do you know what I mean? But like, the thing is about what gets me at the end of the day, it looks like when you look at FSG, or the people that handle sort of like, the transfers, because it's still going to come from FSG, whether it's yay or nay, it's still going to come from FSG. Yeah. Right. The thing is with them, man, they just don't want to spend the money. They're more interested in making money. Because remember the day, they made a profit. They made a profit in the transfer window. They made a 40 million profit. They're selling off everybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They made some money on Seth Vandenberg. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. They sold him for like 25 rising to 30.
30, yeah.
Right. And they spent about 2.5 million on him a couple of seasons back, right. Cavalli at the end of the day, right, they made some money on him because he's gone for something like 25 rising to 27 or something like that, right, to the same club. So really and truly at the end of the day, that's 50 million there you've made already. There's 50 million there already, and plus they sell some of the other youths, then selling them thing there, moved on and them thing. They made money. They spent 30 million. They spent 30 million plus the 12 million and they spent for 10 million, say, because it's 10 million at the moment. 10 million in there, that's 40 million in there, right? And they still made 40 million profit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that was because at the end of the day, they didn't do all what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, what gets me, they know what they're doing. They know what they do when they tell us that they push out these people that they from like, if I call their names still, these people from Redman TV and Amphor Rap and all them people there will push out certain narrative and they'll get them to push out the narrative. And then they start believing these things, only for them not to do it. Do you know what I mean? And push out another narrative, say that, we didn't see the value in the player. The players ask for too much money. When you know at the end of the day, right, 50 million for a midfielder, yeah, is a going rate.
It's basic.
It's basic. If you want a reasonably good midfielder, you're paying 50 million. Do you know what I mean? You might get away with certain times at the day where certain clubs they don't know the value of their player, right? Like McAllister, Brighton didn't really know the value of their player.
No.
Yeah. Bayern Munich at the day, Bayern Munich wanted Ryan Gravenberch gone.
Yeah.
Do you know they just wanted him gone because Tuchel didn't like him. He wanted him gone. So we got him for 30. We got him for 30, another 35 million. You understand what I'm saying? In those situations at the day, right, you'll get players that are 30, 35 million, yeah? But not every team's going to be like that where they say, well, we don't want this player. Most of the teams at the day, like, will say, well, look, if you want this player, you're going to have to pay the going rate of 50 million. Do you know what I mean? If not, you don't want to pay it, see ya, somebody else will do it.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And that's the way it is.
Yeah, they lack ambition. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They lack ambition. It's so frustrating, but
it is. What can we do? We can talk all night about this.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And we'll still come back to the same thing as what we said in the beginning. Yeah, it's a vicious circle. At the beginning, we said they got no ambition, and at last, we say they got no ambition. We're gonna come around to it. Do you know what I mean? But like,
some things never change.
No, they don't. But listen, at the end of the day, right? The football that's being played at the moment, I'm enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? I'm enjoying it. The players at the day are putting in a shift. Do you know what I mean? I can't really say no other player isn't putting in a shift. They may not look good, but they're putting in a shift. Do you know what I mean? So we literally just have to see. We literally have to just take each game at a time. Like they got West Ham on Wednesday. Then on Saturday we got Wolves late kickoff, yeah. And then sort of like I can't remember who we got after that.
We got the Champions League fixture. We've got
we got Bologna. We got Bologna. You got Bologna, which I think we should
win.
Touch wood. We should beat them sort of like at home. And if we can get 6 points, yeah. And obviously a good deficit when it comes to the goals, yeah, right. We're making steps at the day to qualify. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because I want to qualify for this group. I don't want to go into a playoff for some freaking Europa Cup. No, but I'm not into that. I'm not. No. Just that's just adding on too much games. Let's get these games done. Because I think if you win like 3 games on a bounce, you're good enough to qualify, didn't you? Really?
Yeah, it's top 8 that go through automatically. So yeah, as long as we get top 8, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, top 8 that goes through. But if you win like 3, so that you win 3 games on a bounce at the day, right? That's like 9 points. You're kind of like you're near enough there to qualify, isn't you? Really? Yeah,
it should be. Yeah, should be thereabouts. Because I think now it's 8 fixtures in total. So I'd say as long as you win 3 or 4 games, you should be in a good position. But having said that, I feel like that's why they've changed the whole format altogether, just to make it a bit more exciting, where it's like league format, where you feel like when we do the Premier League, for example, everyone says 40 points should give you survival in the Premier League, but sometimes it's not the case because there might be too much competition, or 80 points should win you the league. But we've gone toe-to-toe with Man City, where we've almost got 100 points matching them. Does that make sense? So it just depends on the quality of the games, but on paper, you'd assume about 3 or 4 games should help you qualify. But
I think 4 games. I think 4 games.
Yeah, if you get 4 wins.
4 wins at the end of the day. 4 wins. That should secure it. That should secure it, man. I can't see
many teams winning 4 games as well, isn't it? It's quite because depending on who they play as well. So 4 wins.
Because we haven't got a bad group when you think about it. I think the only probably one that I'm wary about is Real Madrid.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
That's the only one I'm wary about. But the rest of the day, sort of like we got.
We should be fine.
Yeah, we should be fine. I mean, we got Lille, we got Bologna, we got Lille. Do you know what I mean? And I think the good thing about it is that
with this format, all right, there's more games, but you only play them once.
Yeah, only play them once. Yeah, good point.
You only play once. I mean, I was under illusion at the day that sort of like it was kind of like you had to play these teams twice. It's only when I got explained. Yeah, it's only when I got explained to me that sort of like no, you only play them once. I said, oh yeah, that's good then.
Yeah. So rumor
Do you know what I mean?
and that's it. Then you move
yeah,
on to
just
the next
like
question, so.
yeah, because you know what? Then if you like play somebody, if you play somebody and you lose, you can literally get a chance to make up in the next game.
The next fixture, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I do like it. It's just the fact that they sort of like obviously there's more games that you have to play. You know what I mean? But
it kind of takes that edge of it being a cup competition because it feels like a league now more so than once it gets to the knockout stage, then we might get that excitement again. But yeah, let's see. It remains to be seen how it is because I think it's a mixed reception. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm a bit on the fence. I feel like I prefer the group stage. I just feel like it's probably because it's a format we're used to, isn't it? So
yeah.
Change, it does take a bit of time to adapt to, but
I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 with it. 50-50.
Yeah, I agree. Before we wrap up, I've got to ask you this question. The comments that have come out from Trent about his future, what have you made of it? Because a lot of fans are like, personally, I think they're reading too much into it. I think he was just being a bit honest, where he was like, look, I would love to stay here beyond this year, but I don't know what the future holds. And I don't, when Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent say these things, they're not saying it to say they're leaving. It depends on FSG. What is their angle? Are they happy to give these guys extensions? We don't know because they might look at it from a financial point of view, like these guys are on excessive wages. Like, let's sell them and then get someone younger and then reduces the wage bill. Or
you know what they're like, don't you?
They've hit that milestone where they're past 32. They can't play at the highest level because we don't know what the parameters are in terms of acquiring a contract extension. Trent, on the other hand, on paper should, because he's mid-20s. He's a local boy as well. He's a generational talent. I don't care what anyone says. And he's at the top of his game. So, me personally, I'm not concerned, but I am concerned, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're 50-50 now.
I'm not going based on the comments, though. I'm just going based on the bigger picture, where I feel like he probably doesn't see the club. We've used this word quite a few times today. Ambitions. They're not ambitious.
Yes.
So if he doesn't see the ambition from the owners, because with Jurgen Klopp, I feel like you had someone that had that pulling power to get the best players around the world. Arne Slot still has to establish his name in world football to have that pulling power.
Yes.
Liverpool is the pulling power right now, whereas before it was Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. It's a double effect. So we don't have that kind of coach right now to do that,
And plus, as well, Jurgen Klopp was a person, and they can turn water into wine.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? He can do that. But like in regards to Trent, the way I see with Trent, what a lot of people got to remember in the day is Trent sees more about the club than what we do.
Correct.
He knows more about that club than what we do. You understand what I'm saying? So it's much easier for us and they to sit down and say, oh yeah, Trent's out of order, he should be saying this and that. He's seeing things with a club that we're not seeing, We're not seeing. And one of them could be ambition. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because we like with the ambition of them spending money on the team, we've only seen a little bit of that. We only know a little bit of that. He knows all of it. He knows all of it. So he's probably thinking, and I'm not saying this is actually happening, but like he can probably translate his words to say, look, you know what? I don't know where my future is going to be because these mans over there ain't showing no ambition. They ain't gonna buy nobody. I don't even think they want to give me extra money. But I got some team in Spain in the day, right, that will take me like now,
and
right now,
as well.
And they win trophies.
That's the concern.
They win trophies, and the weather's nice over there.
His best mate is there as well. So
best mate is there, and plus as well, apparently, Trent is looking to get into sort of property or something like that. Some kind of ownership.
He was linked with buying a French club, Nantes.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Making big moves already.
no, but it's true. Listen, at
Yeah.
the day, right? When you think about it, right, with Trent and everything, that he's clever. He knows at the day, right? His professional career can be taken away from him like that.
Yeah.
He could have a bad injury or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, right. He could go for a run of form or what Marcus Rashford is. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where he's not getting a love from his club and not getting love from his family. Not family, from the fans. Yeah. He's not having a good time of it. Yeah. So if they decide that they to fuck him off, yeah. Nobody's gonna say anything. Do you know what I mean? So what Trent is doing in the day, in Trent's situation, what he's doing, he's protecting his future. And we as fans at the day have got to see that. Because what it is at the day, FSG ain't protecting his future. Because FSG, excuse me, what a lot of people don't know, way back in the day, right? When Gerrard was going to leave the club, I told Fuzzy this, yeah? When Gerrard was going to leave the club, yeah, right? Rafa Benitez already had a shopping list already of who he's going to buy with the money that was going to come through.
Money. That's probably why.
Huh?
He never saw money. That's probably why he had a shopping list.
Yeah, no. You know what is? And that's another thing. No, that's another thing. I think that another thing, right? What Rafa Benitez is trying to fool everybody, saying that he weren't backed. He was backed. Any player that he wanted, he got. Remember, he spent over 250 million. You know.
Who? Benitez?
Yeah.
No.
No money. He spent money because what he was doing. You see, this is what a lot of people don't realize. Yeah. What Benitez was doing, he was buying players at the day, right? And they never played for the club. He was selling them on. Like, all right, Antonio Barang in the day, right? Antonio Barang, you probably don't even know that name, yeah? He bought this guy, Antonio Barang, and that, right, from Spain, yeah? Come to play right back, yeah?
Yeah.
He played one game in pre-season, and then he got shipped off, yeah? Emmanuel Insua, in the day that he got, shipped off, yeah? San Miguel, shipped off. Do you know what I mean? He had a lot of players that came in. Seriously, he had a lot of players that come in, and he shipped out a lot of players. Remember, freaking, he had they got him Robbie
Keane.
Yeah, Robbie Keane. They got Robbie Keane. Didn't like him. You last about 6 months.
Yeah.
Peter Crouch spent money on him. He lasted a hot season and a half. So you know what? He had more chances at the day to buy players in the day, right? Remember the day, every transfer window he was buying, whether it was like January, whether it was summer, he was buying. Jan Kronkamp didn't last long. Remember him? Dutch right back. Didn't last long. Do you know what I mean? He got another one. He got another right back from Dortmund, but he got him on a free. That didn't last long.
He is rubbish.
Yeah.
He is in
That didn't last long. Do you understand what I'm saying? Goalkeepers as well, Brazilian goalkeepers. Do you know what I mean? Sebastian Leto, Argentinian guy, didn't last long. End up at Olympiacos.
Yeah.
The man was buying players of time after time. The reason why, a lot of people don't realize that today. The reason why today that this is nothing I don't agree with him about, right? He's trying to put it on Alonso, saying that Alonso wanted to sort of like leave to go to Arsenal. Yeah, he said he's a liar.
We know the real deal. What happened there? It's because
he's a liar. Yes, to say he's a liar, and he lied. He lied to Carragher and saying that day that was it Alonso. Right? He lied on big TV, saying Alonso wanted to leave, right? And he knows it was him trying to push him out the door because he saw Gareth Barry, play with Gerrard in midfield for England,
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, man, I like that, I like that." Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Biggest mistake, I'm telling
right. He wanted to buy him, but what it was at the day, right? It was like Aston Villa at that time wanted 18 million for him. 18 million, 8.5 million, and he wasn't prepared to pay that. Do you remember Andre De Sena? As well, Italian left back, but he was like a wide back. He couldn't really play him in an attacking role. Remember, he loved Van der Sar. Remember?
Yeah, and
he loved Van der Sar
as well in the same week.
Yeah, he scored against Real Madrid,
Then he scored against
I
United.
think he scored against Real Madrid first, and then on the Saturday we paid Man United, and he come on and he loved Van der Sar. He never lasts long. All these players, he had bare players in the day, right? But it didn't last long. He had money to spend. So don't sit on big TV.
Do you know what
and lie.
Benitez? Do you know what Benitez is? I tell you what, there were a lot of players that we were linked with and that we should have bought, but we didn't get. But that was due to finances. So let's say, I tell you, do you remember we signed Jermaine Pennant?
Yeah.
You know who we were supposed to sign before Pennant?
Who was that?
Dani Alves.
Dani Alves, yeah, they went the 20 million for him. But
no, he went for 12. Because he was still at Sevilla. So so this was before he went to Barca. So he went to Barca for like 12 and a half, but we couldn't get the finances to increase that bid from 10 to 12 million, if that makes sense. And then we were also linked with David Villa. We should have got him. David Silva, we should have got him as well. We were linked to a young kid called Sergio Aguero, a 17-year-old.
Yeah, but but he went to Thing, didn't he? Yeah. He went to
Atletico.
Yeah, because we was linked with him when he was with Independiente. Yeah, he's with there, right? But what it is today, he had to go to Europe first. Yeah, I think what it was to get like so we can get points for the work permit. I'm sure it was something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Right. So he went to Atletico and he played at Atletico, right? And like what it wasn't, and what it was like the interest just finished from there. What he should have done, if he was clever, if he was clever, what he should have done is bought him when he was at Independiente, then loan him to Atletico Madrid to get the point system up and everything that, so he can get his work permit. Then he comes to Thing. Yeah. Samasa Brosa, right? I can understand. Right. No, I can understand that one because what it was at the day, right? What it was with Samasa Brosa, what I can remember, Benfica kept on moving the goalposts. Yeah, they said at the day you can have him for this price, and then what it was, Benitez and their man, they agreed to say, yeah, man, we'll have him. We'll pay you that money. And then he flew over here, and then then Benfica said they wanted more money. Yeah, they wanted. That's it. Benfica said when he's at the airport, he's at the airport. Benfica then said that they wanted 12.5 million. So then Liverpool said, that's not the deal. Because no, we want 12.5 million. He goes, all right, take him back. And I thought that was when he did that, I thought fair play, because I would have done the same thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But most of the other players, didn't they? He got a lot of players. He got a lot of players in the door. Torres, he got Torres for the door, and for that they paid 25 million for Torres. They got him for the door. Do you know what I mean? So they got a lot of players. They got a lot of players in. But what is it today? Benitez is this kind of guy that he's like a kid with a toy. When they get a new toy, I don't know if you got kids in that, right? When you give your kids in there a toy. And then right? And it's an in thing, brother. It's an in thing, He goes, oh, daddy, I love you. Thank you. 6 months later, I don't want that toy again. I want that one. You know what I mean? And Benitez was like that. He would have a player. All right. We, at one time, do you realize something, yeah? This is what pisses me off about Benitez, yeah, right? At one time, we had the best midfield in the world, It was Momo Sissoko, Xabi Alonso, Gerrard was further forward. Remember the centre forward role, and then Mascherano was there as well. We had that midfield. Nobody can touch that midfield because Sissoko and they was a destroyer. He was awesome, destroyer. 5.5 million from Valencia. We'll have that. He was a destroyer, and then right. Then you had that Alonso, which was a playmaker, innit? Was a playmaker. He got the ball and distributed it. Quarterback role, right? Then you had Mascherano who would just sit there. He would just sit there, and you ain't getting past mans. Nah. He's just sitting there. You know what I mean? Yeah. We had the best thing for. What happened at the day, right? Sissoko got an injury. because he got kicked in the eye, didn't he?
right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
the eye socket. He got kicked at Benfica game. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
and
Yeah.
he was never the same. He was never the same after that,
Yeah.
which I can understand. But
Yeah.
you never replaced him. You know what I mean? You never really replaced him there with substantial in the day, right? And it just listen. I remember one time in the day we played Tottenham in the day, yeah, and most of our players that we bought in the day was with Tottenham. We were Tottenham, and I remember the Ross was up 4-0 that day.
Yeah.
And I was at White Hart Lane, brother. And then, and all we had on the bed in there is like we had this carbon copy, Danny Alves. When we bought that Danny Alves guy, end up playing for bloody Hull. End up playing for Hull City, you know. Hull City, man. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff that Benitez was saying in that interview was, trust me, it was BS. Yeah, it was BS in the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't rate him, because another thing I don't rate him for, he's a mercenary. Imagine that day, you know, you go and manage Chelsea. After all the things that day, them Chelsea lot was saying about you, you go and manage them. Yeah, right?
That's true.
Not only that, you go and manage Everton. Nah, man, come on, sit down, man. Go ahead. You know what it is with Benitez? I'll tell you what it is with Benitez in the day, right? I'll always be grateful to Benitez for winning us the Champions League and the FA Cup after. I'll always be grateful for that. Benitez is a manager at the end of the day, right? That is good with other people's teams. It's good with teams that they inherit. Because when he went to Valencia, yeah, and won the league 2 times, yeah, he never made that team. You know that, don't you? You know he never made that team. It was Hector Coupe.
All the players were there from before.
Hector Coupe made that team. Hector Coupe brought in people like Roberto Ayala. Them man there. Pablo Aimar, you know.
Pablo Aimar was
I wanted him at Liverpool, you know. I wanted him at Liverpool. Oh God, he was blood.
That time when they came to Anfield, they just annihilated us.
Destroyed us, blood.
Yeah.
We destroyed it. We couldn't. That's when Valencia was hot in the blood. Yeah, they destroyed it. But Pablo Aimar, then he, Ruben Barang, I think Ruben Barang.
They had that winger as well, Vicente, the Spanish
Vincenzo Vicente. Yeah, listen, they had that team, and he even had John Carew at one time, didn't they? John Carew.
Yeah.
He used to play for them, and then that guy, what's his name? He played something like 6 months with us. Yeah, Pellegrini.
The defender. Yeah, Pellegrini.
Yeah. Because remember, they used to be like Ayala and Pellegrini in defense, innit?
Defense, yeah.
And the two Argentines, you could not get past them. It was like a brick wall, blood.
Ayala was solid.
He was solid. Now, what it was at the day, right, is that Benitez inherited that team. Because remember Hector Coupe, he went to Inter Milan, didn't he? He went to Inter Milan, right? And Benitez at the day sort of like inherited that team. One of the reasons why Benitez left Valencia, because he wanted money to spend on players. And what Valencia was saying, well, you don't need money.
You got the players.
You know what I mean? You don't need money. You got a good team there. You don't need money. He didn't like that. Liverpool came knocking. He's at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we bought him because we got him in because obviously what they'd done to us and what they were doing to other teams as well. To be fair, because they broke that monopoly of like Real Madrid and Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? They broke that monopoly. Yeah. But like Benitez is a guy that is good with other people's teams. He cannot build a team. Trust me. That's why at Newcastle he struggled. Yeah, he struggled at Newcastle and he struggled at Everton, where he didn't have where he couldn't build a team. Do you know what I mean? And like Napoli at the day, he tried the same thing at Napoli. Yeah, no, actually he went to Inter first, didn't he? Went Inter first, and he's with Inter. Yeah, he was with Inter, right? And come telling man that how you want money in them thing there. He wants money in them thing there. They tell him to go ahead, move on, go ahead. And he was out of a job. He got out of a job at Inter.
Yeah.
Then he went to Napoli and tried the same thing at Napoli. Actually, you know what he did at Napoli? He sold off their best crown jewels, you know. He sold Lavezzi and he sold what's that guy who used to play for Man United? The striker who's played for Man United. He's from Uruguay as well. Cavani.
Oh, Cavani.
Yeah. He sold them too. The two best players, he sold them off, lad.
Yeah, sold to PSG,
And both of them went to PSG.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then talk about how you want money for build a team. Let them go ahead. Let them go away about you want money to build a team. You just sold off one of your best assets.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You should have kept
it as well. That I just remembered. I think he was a bit of a poor man manager as well. People didn't really.
Yeah, he was.
Because he was a great tactician, but he fell out with a lot of players. Like I remember, like when we signed Ryan Babel, I had high expectations for Babel.
Yeah,
because Babel was cold for Ajax.
Yeah,
he was like not to do comparison, but they were saying like Thierry Henry, like that kind of vibe. Like he was on that sort of that vibe to be that type of player. It's never happened, but that's because we had a manager that was very stubborn in terms of personality, but tactically as well at the same time. So
you know what it was, right? You know it wasn't Ryan Babel. I always thought, and he was better central as a central forward.
Play that role,
no, that's the thing. He never got a chance. He's always put on the left, and it wasn't working for him. He was dying a slow death on the left hand side, and I thought, and they now just playing for the middle man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because when he plays for the middle, he causes damage. But obviously he's stubborn and they right. Dirk Kuyt, and then you moved him on the right side of midfield. You ruined him, blood.
But that's the thing with our wingers. Our wingers weren't wingers. Our wingers were like proper midfielders, but they had to really work the channels.
Yeah.
They weren't really attack minded. That's why, like you mentioned, Dirk Kuyt, he moved over because he was a workhorse. Like he would run up and down, and he was tired. It was not because of his crossing ability, because we bought Pennant, and he was brought in to be a sort of like a specialist, to be like a crosser for. We had Crouch, we had Morientes at the time.
Yeah,
but it just didn't work out. Do you know what I mean? So it was.
Pennant was alright though. I actually did like Pennant though. I actually did like him.
I like Pennant as well.
I thought he did well, but you know what it is about that guy, which I really love, is that he had endless amounts of energy. I don't know where he got his energy from.
Duracell. That's what they call it.
Seriously, you know, you could put him on a pitch, yeah, and you just run up and down that pitch in the day, right, non-stop. I don't know why in the day when Kenny Dalglish come in, right. I don't know why in the day he had a problem with Dirk Kuyt, because you didn't like Dirk Kuyt, did he? But Dirk Kuyt, if you told Dirk Kuyt in the day, right, you're playing in gold as a goalkeeper, this game, right, he would do it. He would literally just do anything for the team. He's just like a person, and once he's playing for your team, he's defending your team with his life. That's what it is. You know what I mean? He was loyal in that, right? But he did kind of ruin some players at the day because he saw a vision at the day, right? A vision at the day, right? And no matter how much people was telling him at the day, I can see what you're doing, but it's not going to work here. No. He wouldn't listen. Do you know what I mean? And he ruined a lot of players at the day. And
one player that he ruined, in my opinion, I don't know, some fans might not agree. I feel like he ruined Jabril Cisse, because we were chasing him for years.
Yeah.
We did a pre-contract agreement under who? Do you know what I mean? For 14 million, I think it was at the time.
Yeah, 40 million,
He was that guy in France as well. But he was a striker. But then when Benitez came, put him on the right wing.
Yeah, I didn't understand that, because he's so much pace going through the middle. Because remember the day at that time he was at that time in France, because you had Didier Drogba playing for Marseille, and Jabril Cisse was playing for Bordeaux at that time there.
It was
Auxerre, sorry, Auxerre. You're right, Auxerre. Yeah, so you're right. You're 100% Auxerre, right? Yeah, and like he was outscoring Drogba, you know.
Yeah, he was.
Every season, he was outscoring Drogba in the day, right? Drogba only got the move to England because he had a fancy hairstyle. You know what I mean? Imagine that day, you know, you're an African in the day, African man with straight hair. Straight hair, and you know that band round their head, like some European stuff. Go away with that, man. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? But he was more prolific. But Benitez ruined him. Benitez ruined him. He put him out on the right hand side of the midfield in the day, right? and that just ruined it. That's ruined the game. But his son
broke his leg as well, isn't it? Broke his leg twice playing
exactly.
on the wings.
His son plays for Thing, innit? His son plays for Liverpool. Yeah, his son plays for Liverpool and that. Because I think what it was with Djibril Cissé, though after that he played around the world, he played in Italy, he went to France, and he went here and there. And I think he always maintained, always had a house in Liverpool. He kept the house in Liverpool that he had.
Yeah.
I think his kids.
His wife at the time was from Liverpool as well, so obviously he had kids with us. Obviously, he still had like a connection with the name. I think you're right. He bought with like Lord of the Manor or something like that. So like
he bought some big yard and everything now. Because you know what was Djibril Cissé? He said this, this is when you know a man's like loyal. Yeah. He said that when Liverpool approached him and signed a pre-contract, right? I think Gerald Houllier at that time things weren't going well for him, and he looked like at the day that he was going to be there the following season. And Djibril Cissé said, no matter if Gerald Houllier at the day is here next season or not, I'm still coming.
Yeah,
I'm still coming. I'm still going to be there. And he fulfilled his promise. He fulfilled his promise to Liverpool. Gerald Houllier got sacked that season. And the following season, that summer, then Djibril Cissé comes in as promised. You know what I mean? As promised in the day, but under obviously Benitez and that. And Benitez, to me, at the day, ruined him.
Yeah, ruined him. A lot of players that were ruined, but yeah, that was a nice little trip down memory lane there. A lot of
really?
Yeah, I don't even know how we got there, but it was quite nice to talk about.
But we was there. That's the main thing. We was there.
We was there. Do you know what I mean? So no, it's very interesting. But Uncle Roz, big up as always. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, listen.
Very soon. You know what I mean?
Listen, mate. You don't have to ask, man. I'm here, man. I'm here for support. Show love around the camp and that. You know what I mean? Because we're all aiming for the same thing. You know what I mean? All the same thing, and then trying to sort of like, get our platform recognized and talk about the game that we love and about the club that we love. So we don't want the same thing. So support each other. Listen, as I said in this show the other day, and I was saying today, I'm a sort of person, I ain't got time for toxicity. That doesn't do nothing to me. So when I look at other people and they sort of like, other people's shows, I'm not going to obviously mention them, but when I look at other people's shows and I see them effing and blinding each other and arguing and getting really heated, I think, why? I think, why? And I'd rather say, why are you getting heated? Because if I'm on a show, if I'm on a show and I feel I'm getting heated with somebody, I say, I'm bouncing, man. Because you know what it is? So that was on your show.
Yeah.
And you had a panel. And like, it's getting heated between me and somebody. I said, nah, you know what, I'm going. Because you know what it is? I don't want to disrespect your platform.
Yeah.
Because the way I say it, I'm not on my platform. So if I'm not on my platform, I've got to show 100% respect for somebody else's platform. Yeah. And if it's a brethren, that's what I do. So I say, I'm just gonna say one thing, and I'm just gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna bounce, and I will just go. Do you know what I mean? Say all the effing and blind and all that rubbish. Because I'm not here for that, man. I'm not here for that. I'm here to sort of, be part of good content, put out good content, and we all have a chat, and we agree to disagree. We was on a show the other day, and we had this guy called Nuruddin. He's a Man United supporter. And he was like, he's part of Saeed's thing. Tell you this guy, man. I was literally sitting there just listening to spit facts. Literally sitting there. And when they came around to me, I said, you know what? I can't disagree with anything that he says. You know what I mean? Because everything that he was saying was 100% fact. And you know what it was so good to listen to. Do you know what I mean? And he's coming from real G, because he even saying that when it comes to Man United, right? I must ask him a question, and they sort of like, are you prepared to take the hit in order for sort of like, your team to get better? And he said, yes, I would take the hit. I will literally take the hit if I know at the day, look, there's a good vision sort of like coming in there, right? And I can trust the vision. I will get relegated if I know in the day it's going to get better after that. When we come back to the Premiership,
we'll be bigger and better and this and that. Do you know what I mean? And I said, yeah, man, you're a real G. So this is what I do. I like to, you know, have good chats with people and stuff, no matter what club they support. And if I ain't got time for the toxicity. And so that's why, you know what? You always find me on your channel whenever you need me, bro.
Appreciate
you know
it,
like,
yeah, no, I have to co-sign what you said, because we're content creators. So for us, we're always going to have our own opinions on certain topics. So even today's show, for example, there were some opinions where I may have disagreed, or likewise you may have disagreed, but we kept it civil. And that's how it always, obviously we're friends, so we're not going to, you know, be effing and all that kind of stuff. But things, like you said, things do get heated, you know, in sort of live streams and all that sort of stuff. But for me, that's not why I do content. I do content because I like to talk about football. That's it. There's no agenda or anything like that. I like to have a discussion. Look, we went through down memory lane speaking about Jibril Cisse and all that stuff. Like, that's the kind of stuff I like to talk about, because that's what I grew up on. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't mind having those discussions. So for me, it's about talking about the beauty element of football, not just, you know, having agendas or just being toxic for the sake of being toxic for clickbait reasons or whatever. I'm here to have discussions, you know what I'm saying? So, Uncle Ross, you've always got a platform on this channel, so appreciate you coming on as always.
One more last question.
Please subscribe to Uncle Ross.
One more last question. Hey, right? Do you remember Andre Vorden?
Yes. Free transfer, and he was given a number 10 shirt as well.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
He was shit though, wasn't he?
Do you know what? I think we only bought him because he played against us a year before. And he used to play for Bayer Leverkusen. And
he was Berbatov's strike partner. Yeah, strike partner. But the thing, do you know the thing? What strange thing was about that?
Yeah,
he was Berbatov's strike partner.
Yeah,
and his record was in 38 games in the league, obviously in their league, 38 games in the league. He scored 1 goal.
Nah, do you know what? We made some shocking signings, you know. Do you remember that winger, Jovanovic?
Do you know what it is about
winger? Free transfer?
Oh no, he was Serbian, wasn't it? And we got him from
he was
Belgium.
Terrible. He was terrible, man.
But you know what it was? This is what it was with Nate, right? Quick. What it was with him, that, right? When he has come to the end of his tether now, because he's just buying any and anybody, free right? Yeah, and what they say, they literally refused to give him money. Because they said that you're just going to go and blow it, and sort of, it's like a gambler, isn't it? He's going to go and blow your money. You're just going to go and blow it, and then on any player, yeah.
But he gave him some, like, these guys earned big salaries, by the way. They weren't even like small. They were earning like 100K.
Yeah, he was earning some big money, and he stayed for? He stayed for
like a year or two.
He was there, about a year or two. Because I remember he played a bit under.
I think he came injured. He came to the club and he was injured. He wasn't even like fit. I think he played in like the World Cup or something, and then he came injured. And my guy just couldn't discover.
He scored one. Do you know he scored 1 goal?
Yeah,
he scored 1 goal, and I think that was when he was playing under what's that guy's name? Roy Hodgson.
Oh man,
where he cut because he was a right-footed, left-sided player. And he cut in and he scored 1 goal, but he was just pants. I don't know why you bought him. I don't know why you got this guy, even though he was free. No, it's not everything.
What's the point?
It's not the point. That's what I'm trying to say. So, like, you know, we've done some shocking signings, but we've also done some good signings, but we never knew what we had. We never knew, like that guy. What's his name that went to Chelsea?
Moreles.
Yeah, Moreles.
He was good.
He was good. He was good.
He was the only good Roy Hodgson signing.
Yeah.
The rest of them were pants. Konchesky played for my club. No. Are you mad?
Do you know what it is? Do you know why they sacked him when they moved him on? Do you know why they did that?
Why?
It's because what it was, his mum made some comments about Liverpool. Yeah, so he made some really bad comments. Yeah. And like even people were saying, "What are you thinking? Your son's playing for the club that you're cursing," and she didn't care. She made these comments and everything that. So like Liverpool said, "Nah, man, you can't play here, blood.
You can't play. And they shipped him off to Leicester. That's it. He went to Leicester.
You're right.
And and I don't know where he went after Leicester. Do you know what I mean? But like when he was in West Ham, he wasn't too bad when he was in West Ham, was he? He was all right because he went. I think he came from he was with Fulham. Fulham, then West Ham. Then he came on to
against us in the FA Cup final.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He scored it. He scored that looping shot, didn't it?
Jammy goal. That jammy.
Yeah, it was jammy. It was like he was even surprised it went in. You see his face. He was like this. He was like, oh yeah. He started cheering. I was like, I can't get out of it. You know what I mean? But like he must have came to Liverpool. He ended up in Liverpool, and he was like he was a pants. I remember one game he was playing one game. And I don't know what he was doing, but it wasn't defending. You know what I mean? But listen, we bought some flops, but we also bought some players at the day that are being good, and we never knew what to do with them. Do you know what I mean? And we let them go for silly prices, like Mascherano. We let him go for 18.5 million. We bought him for 18.5 million, and here's the joke now: he went to Barcelona for 17.5 million. We lost $1 million on him. And at that time, at that time, he was the best midfielder in Europe. We should at least got about 40 or 50 million for him. Damn. I'm telling you.
I forgot about that. Damn.
All right then, bro. Listen,
thank you for coming on. Yeah.
No problem, man. No problem.
I'll probably do another memory lane kind of episode. That was quite good, actually. But yeah, we'll chop up definitely soon.
Yeah, listen, if you want to set up a memory lane one, like on a weekend or whatever, give me a shout. Give me a shout. We'll either do it on my channel or your channel, and for that. And I get a couple of mans in there, like Anton and all their mans in there, and Kieran and I get a couple of mans together, and we just have a good old chat about the old days about football and this and that, and have a laugh and that. But yeah, just let me know when you're ready, and we'll line it up. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on. Speak to you soon.
Love and respect, bro. Love and respect, man. You never walk alone. Love and respect.
You, bro. You never walk alone. Take care, bro. Thank you. Oh, that was a good show. That good little roundup. And that is it for today, guys, in terms of our match week 5 review. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. In terms of upcoming content, I'll be doing a few more shows this week. So tomorrow, I'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus West Ham, which is our Carabao Cup match. And then on Wednesday is obviously the game that we're playing. So we'll be doing a watch along, and then we'll do a match reaction show pretty much straight after. So we'll do the watch along, and then we'll do match reaction calling show as well. So feel free to come on if you'd like to have your say. And then on Thursday, we're doing a match preview of the Wolves versus Liverpool game, which takes place on Saturday, 5:30 kickoff. So I'll be doing a watch along for that as well. So yes, a lot of content coming your way, guys. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. So until next time, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.